Hello. Okay. All right. So let me get everything ready, and then we'll start. Yes, thank you. Hi. Hello. So today we're gonna paint this drawing here. There's a little something walking here. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but let's see. So I was planning on using gouache today for this. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go with gouache. All right. I wish I had like better lighting for this. It seems dark. Okay, so let me get the paint ready. So I'm gonna use this. Hi, hola. This one's a Winsor & Newton designer's gouache. Just a little. It's a little bit dry. Let's see how it is. Yeah, I think it's okay. I'm just testing. Don't do like I just did and test your paint in the painting. This is this is a little bit too pink, so I'm going to add a little bit more red to this painting, to this paint. Let's see. This one. I think it's better this way. just taking a little bit of it out because I don't want it to be too saturated with paint. Not yet. So I think you can't see. Let me get this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's paint. I'm thinking if I'm gonna have in the background or not, because that will be a lot of work because of all the little flowers. Let's see. Yeah, I think I might just do a very subtle blue color. Oops, that wasn't very subtle. With a bigger brush. Let me get a big brush here. There you go. This is my bigger brush, and I'm gonna use like a lot of water, so it's kind of like watercolor. That's still very strong. I want it to be more subtle than that. That's okay. Just gonna spread it out, spread it out. Now just pure water. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, that works. A little bit more here, because it's okay if it's like the hair is gonna be dark, so it's okay if we go inside the hair. Yeah. And now the other. Let me think. It has to be even more subtle back there because it's like at the distance. there you go. Great. I hope you can see that. I'm not sure if you can. Can you guys hear me? All right. Now I'm gonna leave it to dry a little bit. The part that has the blue surrounding it, and I'm gonna go and paint the flowers here. It's very watery because I'm gonna, come back to it later. It looks like it's so dark. Is it like too dark? Can you guys even see it? Yes, great. Awesome. So let's keep going with, okay, I think it's pretty much dry, so let's keep going with these little flowers. So the idea is to kind of build them from a lighter, more watery paint to a more saturated. And I don't mean like saturated like as the color is saturated, but like saturated with paint. I love painting with paint. And I think my favorite traditional medium is gouache. Hi, do you have any tips for watercolor? I want to start learning how to use it. I don't do a lot of watercolor because I don't know. It's hard for me to find the patience to do watercolor. I think it needs even more patience than any other paint. So like you have to do, you have to start kind of like what I'm doing here. You have to start like from light, very watery paint toward a darker tone. That's pretty much what I'm doing here, but it's different because, you know, if I get something like too dark or something like that, I can correct it with gouache because it's opaque, but I can't do that with watercolors because watercolors are not opaque. So I find it hard, so I don't do it a lot. So I don't really have a lot of tips tips to give you. I'm sorry. I'm going to read more of your comments. Just let me just finish this one here. All right. Let me see. It's so rare to see someone using gouache. I love gouache too. Finally, someone to get inspiration. Thanks. Um, yeah, I don't know why people tend to use more watercolors. Um, and you can also find it like easier. It's easier to find watercolors to buy than gouache, like professional gouache. But I prefer gouache because I like that it's more opaque, but you can still use it, kind of use it as watercolors. Let me show you what I'm doing because you can't see. So you can kind of use it like watercolors, but it can still be opaque. Thank you. I'll take any tip I get, and I will keep in mind the layering and patience. Yes, because sometimes you really have to wait for it to completely dry so you can, you know, keep going and finish your piece. But maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just my patience that is limited. Some people use like a blow dryer, like the ones you use to get your hair dry, and that helps getting, you know, the piece dry faster. So this is, I mean, I don't do a whole lot of gouache either, paintings either, because sometimes I just don't do a lot of traditional paintings, but this time I'm trying something different, kind of a different technique. And I'm doing like a base here first before I come with a lot of paint. I don't, I'm just experimenting. Thank you. I use the same technique. First a thin layer of washed color, yes, and then a thicker paint above. Oh, that's good to know. So I'm not just making things up. And yeah, you kind of have to paint everything twice, kind of. But I don't know. Let's see if I prefer it this way. Because this way you can keep adding until, you know, you're done. And it's good. Like, and you don't need any more. But if you have a lot of paint and you decide to paint over it, then you have a problem because gouache keeps reactivating the layer of paint that is underneath that. And so you'll have a little bit of trouble there, but not if you start with the washed color. What I find most hard, is mixing the colors beforehand and also using white wisely. Yeah, I'm not. Um, I'm just putting things here as I need them, and I don't have it all like perfectly mixed before I even start. So yeah, I'm not a big planner, so I just every time I do something, I just kind of wing it. I forgot this little one here. Supposed to see. Topsy. Okay. And there's the one in her mouth, but I'm gonna leave this one for later. I think the hardest part here is going to be her hair, because her hair is going to be black, and I'm gonna have to be very careful about it because of the flowers. But I didn't want to do it first. Yeah, let's just keep going. Uh, let's see. I'm gonna do her, whatever that is, her sweater, because it's the same color of the flower, so I'm still, you know, using the same color here. Again, a very washed color with a lot of water. Now I'm gonna have to wait for it to dry. You don't create a color palette before you mix it up with any. Yes, I find it really difficult working without a palette. I have in mind what I want to use, so I don't know, I just create the colors as I go. But I think like the more you have planned beforehand, the better it is for you. I'm just like, I just don't like doing it. But that's on me. That's just how I am. So we're gonna switch the brushes, and I'm gonna go back to that blue because now I'm gonna paint just add a little bit more blue to the flowers and the grass. Well, not the flowers, but like the stem. I think it's stem. Also, I wanted to kind of have a more sketchy look, maybe. So it doesn't have to be all perfectly rendered. Like my pencil strokes are going to be in the background, and that's okay. I am more familiar with pastels, but gouache is my second favorite. Pastel is really fun, but it makes a big mess. So I don't use it in a while, but I really like it. But it always makes a big mess. When you're painting, it's a good idea to keep like to start away from where your hand is going to, rest. Because I just did the opposite here, and I always forget it. And then I don't have anywhere to rest my wrist because it's all wet. So keep that in mind. That is helpful. And something that I find interesting with gouache is that when it completely, the next day when it's completely dry, it looks so different because when I do a gouache painting, the day I do it, I hate it. Every time I think it's like so ugly. And that's because it's still kind of settling in. It's still wet. It's still fresh. And then it looks a lot better the next day. So just give it like a few hours or a full day before you decide that you don't like it, because it kind of changes. Do you know how to get a good sense of color theory? Because I struggle with it. Um, I think like there's a lot of good videos on YouTube about like on color theory that can help you, and I think like using films and movies as reference to study to understand why those colors were applied that way. It's really helpful. So I think you can find um, at least a few of those videos. Hello, on YouTube. Hi. Okay. Um, what do I do next? I think I'm gonna do the hair because the more I wait, the more I get scared. So let's do the hair. My black paint is, is leaking this, I don't know, this gross goo, whatever it is, and I have to keep washing my hand because it's pretty gross. And it gets like, and it's very sticky, so I don't want to mess it up. Não, só parar de gravar porque já deu. Não, porque é 29 minutos que para, né? Eu já pus. Please. So it's dry, kind of dry. I'm trying to squeeze it out here. Wow. That's a lot of. Okay. So I'm gonna have to wash my hands and I'll be back in a sec because I don't want to mess it up. Okay, I'm back. So, I'm gonna have to do this hair now. I'm thinking about the brush that I want to use. I think this is a little bit too big, but this is too small. This is kind of the same size. I think this is too round. I'm gonna use this one, I think. Well, if I don't like it, I can't always change it. So a different one. What is this? Oh crap. Okay. I dropped the little cap from my paint. Let's see, I'm gonna try this one. I'm gonna need a lot of water. Just mixing my black that is kind of dry with a lot of water because it needs it. Tons of water. Come on. It's so dry. Oops, there's something here, okay. So let's just go for it. So some people complain that gouache is not so shiny like watercolors. It's more an uniqueness of the media. I don't know. I think it's, I don't know. I don't have any complaints about gouache. I'm not having a lot of control with this brush, so gonna get another one. I'll use the one that I was using earlier just because I can't control it better with this one. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, it's a different thing. I like that gouache looks I don't know, creamy sometimes. It looks soft and makes me want to eat it. The painting, not the paint. Like, it looks creamy and I like it. I don't know about being, you know, what did you say? Shiny. I don't know about that. Um, so this brush is Utrecht. Utrecht, I think that's how you say it. Number 4. Yeah, these Kohinoor tubes, they keep leaking. Does that happen to you too? Oh, so there's a lot of black to put in here. And I have to pay attention to what I'm doing because it's black. So, you know. So I did that again. I started with in the place where my hand wants to rest. So that was stupid because I just talked about it. And so I have to pay attention because even though gouache is opaque, it's still hard to cover a black surface. I think so. It's kind of, you know, it takes a lot of paint to cover it. And it can, you know, start to activate the black and then you get it like a muddy color. More paint. I don't know if I can listen to music and do live stream at the same time, or if there's like copyright issues. Because that has been a problem in the past for me. The silence is kind of annoying. Love it, thank you. This looks so peaceful, thanks. It liked with me too. The tube cap is so fragile, yeah. And it's getting my paint a little bit dry. I like to use inks for the black part instead of gouache, but I want to do everything gouache in this one. I don't know if you can see it, but it's all very kind of, it's kind of stained, this black. It's not like, it's kind of see-through and you can see the brush strokes, but it kind of stains the paper instead of like covering it. So I will have to come back again. And I'm just showing you a little bit of my process, but I probably won't finish the whole thing during the live stream because I think it's going to be too long. But I'm recording this. Hopefully it is recording, yeah. And I'll probably post this as a video of the process. Oh, Jesus Christ. Look at that. Ah. I got my hand. All right. So let's let it dry a little bit because I keep touching the wet paint. Put some tape outside the cab. It was starting to break apart. Oh, damn. And what about fixative varnish spray? Oh, yes. Yeah. I like using it. The spray, varnish spray. It's good to protect the paint, especially because it's like it gets activated with water, and so if the air is kind of humid, or I don't know, I think like the particles of water over time in the air can kind of damage it. So it's a good idea to just spray it with the varnish thing. I was going to wait for it to dry, but then I started to just doing like a second wash. Because that stainy look was bothering me. And so I want to make it a little bit more saturated so it fully covers the paper. have a little question thing here. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. How many years have you been drawing? Your style looks so polished. Ooh. I think, I don't know. I've been drawing since I can't remember. Probably since I could, hold a pencil. Like children do. I don't know. Guess I just never really stopped drawing. But it doesn't mean I knew I was going to draw professionally and I was taking it seriously since I was a kid, because that was not my experience. No. So I decided that I learned that I could draw for a living in college, so I was a little bit late, I think. But then when I decided that that's what I wanted to do, then I could, I started to take it seriously and really study it instead of just doing it for fun. And I don't know, I guess it was like how many years ago? I need to think about it for a second. I don't know, around 12 years ago? Maybe. Let's see, another question here. What's your favorite thing to draw? My favorite thing to draw is probably girls. I like drawing girls and flowers as well. I don't really like to draw guys and animals, but I like drawing like female characters. Just paying attention to what I'm doing so I don't screw it up, because this is black after all. So let's see, another question. This is fun, this little question thing. What's your favorite brand of sketchbook? I don't have one because I don't really care so much for or about the brand or the quality even of sketchbook, because if it's like too fancy and the paper is like very high quality, then it kind of blocks my creativity because I don't want to mess it up. And so for sketchbooks, I don't really care so much. I prefer it to be like something cheap, because then I can just do whatever I want and mess it up and experiment and do whatever. But if it's not cheap, then it gets harder for me to just let ideas flow, because I want everything to be perfect. And sketchbooks are not for that. They're not to be perfect. They are a space for learning, for experimenting, for making mistakes, and developing ideas. So yeah, but that's me, because I know don't want to use it or don't want to mess it up, and so that, you know, it's bad for my creativity. Okay. How to grow an Insta like an illustrator? Um, well, Instagram is very annoying lately. At least for me, it's not being a good place to, showcase my art, to connect with my audience, because even though that's the place where my audience is, um, Instagram just wants my money, right? They just want our money. And so, like, just a few people who follow me actually get my content. So it's getting harder and harder to grow or even maintain the following that you have already, collected. I don't know what word I can use here. But I would say that, if you're starting, post a lot, but don't, don't make that a chore. Don't make that like something you have to do. Just do it if you want to. But if you have like a lot of sketches and maybe a lot of sketches from a piece that you have, finished, but you want to share the process, like a bunch of sketches of the process, then post that. You can repost old stuff as well if you still like them, because sometimes we don't, we stop liking the things we did, because we get better and we don't want to keep, posting the same thing, because it doesn't represent our skill anymore. But I don't know. I think like when you're starting, quantity is better than quality at first. Just because the more you post, the more Instagram will deliver to people, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's been really annoying. What's your favorite art style? Realism, abstract, etc. Uh, I like more of a cartoony kind of style. Um, I'm starting to do more abstract, but I like characters, so I still have to figure out how to do both together. So I don't know, I like a cartoony style that is simple. I like simplicity. Oh man, this is hard. And it's hard to do it like this, cuz just to turn to the side and I can't really see if I'm doing it right. have hit this high contrast watercolor to get to this black, it would take ages and several layers. That's true. So by getting my hand painted, I usually paint from left to right. Exactly, that's what I should be doing. Where you grab your ideas for drawings, you have a really lot of interesting pictures. Oh, I do use photo references from photographs that I find interesting and that kind of has the same vibe that I'm going for. Oops. So yeah, I do use a lot of photographs, and I find them on Pinterest mostly. All right, so let's do a second round on the flowers. Quer que eu feche aqui? Tom Matos, lindo trabalho. Obrigada. Beautiful work. Obrigada. Finally a cool live stream. Art live stream. Thanks everyone. Okay. So let's do this. Flowers again. And now I want to pay attention to the edges because I don't want to have like this little white I don't know, spaces without any paint in them. So I'm paying attention to the edges. I don't know if you guys can see it. You can ask questions on this little question mark down there if you want. I think that is fun. This looks amazing. Thank you. No, it's gouache. It's not watercolor. It's gouache. Which drawing you like more, traditional or digital? I like both. The thing is that when I do a lot of one type of medium, I need to change. And I usually do more digital than I do traditional because, well, I can do it faster. I don't need a whole setup. I can paint something lying on the couch. So it's a lot more convenient. So when I do a lot of digital work, I tend to crave, if that's the word, some traditional, just because it forces me to think differently, and it demands a lot more attention because there's no control Z, there's no undo, and I think it's good for my overthinking mind because it demands more of my attention. Eu já comecei de novo ali em cima. Think a little more water. Now I'm gonna go from here to there. So I keep doing the wrong order. So again, paying attention to the edges to see if I'm not leaving some blank spaces. And the flowers here on the back, I don't want them to be like very, bright red because they're at a distance, so they're going to be like less saturated and less obvious. Espera aí, você falou em português agora há pouco. Foi impressão? Não, eu falei. Eu sou brasileira. This is gorgeous. Thank you. Nice that you're high tech and low tech. Yeah, I try to be. Be sure to sing happy birthday to you for 30 seconds when you wash your hands. Gouache or wash? Where do you find your photo references? So, Pinterest. So you can even go to my Pinterest and see the kind of pictures that I kind of have collected there. I have my boards there with references and um, okay, let's see, do I have another question here? No. Okay. Oh my gosh. Still. All right. So is the stream, is it like, are we having connection problems? Is it going smoothly? Can you hear me all right? Because my connection, like my internet connection, this past few weeks is terrible. And it has been terrible for like a few weeks. So I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do a live stream. So is it like smoothly working, or that's real beautiful. Thank you. It's fine. Okay. Awesome. I'm surprised, but I'm not complaining. I'm having a beer, so cheers. Okay, let's go here next. Tá adorando. Então, eu sou brasileira, eu tava falando português porque eu sou brasileira. Hello, I'm having no problem with the stream. Awesome. Hello, thanks for watching. And now I can't kind of paint over the flower because I have the black there and it's not gonna, do anything. with a black that is that is I don't know, in the background behind the flower. Yeah. Mhm. And so, like, traditional painting, if it's more, I don't know, it's, I know that if I make a mistake, sometimes I can fix it, and that totally adds pressure, but it's more therapeutic than digital art is for me. A lot more. So I like it very much because, you know, my mind is tends to be very overactive. I overthink all the time. And so it helps exactly because I can't make a huge mistake and not be able to fix it at any time, any moment. So I need to pay more attention, and that mind out of the usual thoughts that pop up. Do you guys also feel that way? Um, I can't hear. Oh, wait. I can hear and see everything properly. Great. Weather outside plans after the pandemic ends. Probably go to Italy. So it has to end everywhere. So otherwise, I can't go. Pros and cons about digital versus traditional art. So to me, like I said, it's more therapeutic, the traditional art, and also like just the whole combination of things. Not just that I need to pay more attention and I need to be more present in the moment and what I'm doing, but also like the brush being it and the it's all a different experience. And digital is very convenient. You can, you know, draw, like if you have an iPad, for example, like I do, you can draw anywhere. You can, you know, and you don't need to buy the supplies. You don't need to carry the supplies with you. You don't need a setup. You also, you can fix things uh, quicker when you're drawing. You can, you know, edit them and tweak things at any point, really. But I like to do the sketch. Even when I'm doing traditional, I like to draw the sketch and make it like the way I want it digitally first, and then bringing it to the paper. So I like to, anyway, I unite both, and I think they're stronger together. No, it's just that I see the utility, and you know, I just make them both work for me. And sometimes it goes the other way. Like sometimes I like a sketch I did on my sketchbook, like with a pencil, and then I bring it to the digital world. and finish it on digital mediums. So, yeah, I don't think there's like, it's not one better than the other. They kind of complement each other, or you can not use one and just use other, and it's fine. You do you. Okay. How long? My phone is being really annoying. Every time I touch it, it just understands that I want to type something. So, how long do you create a professional art illustrations? Oh, for how long I've been a professional? I think like since I left college and left, I didn't leave, I graduated. So since I graduated college, I started kind of like putting myself out there. That doesn't mean I was getting a lot of work. I wasn't. Because, you know, when you're new, it's hard to get like actual work because you're still not good enough. You're still kind of learning. And that's, I think that's normal, and that's like probably every profession out there, uh but like I was professional, right? I was getting a few bucks here and there from my drawing. So yeah, professional, that is professional, even though I wasn't good back then. I wasn't very good, I don't think. But it's been probably since 2011. Um, yeah, that's the year after I graduated. So since 2011, so it's been 9 years. Well, 10 years, because it's like the very beginning of 2011, so it's almost 10 year of drawing. And this year I was almost giving up. I wanted to quit. I didn't want to draw anymore. And here I am. I had a tough year. I know, like, everybody had a tough year, and I can't complain because a lot of people had a lot worse. A lot worse. I can't even put into words. But that doesn't mean I didn't have any challenge at all, because I did, and it was something so different because I never felt this way. I never really wanted to quit the way I did this year. It was strange. I have no problems. I just wanna hug Van Gogh and tell him he made it. Yes. That is a valid feeling. And I think about that a lot. About like artists that, you know, while they were alive, they weren't valued. And their art just, you know, became something that is valuable for the world after they died. That is so unfair. And that is so sad. And I don't want to be one of them. And if I don't, if my art has no value in life, so, you know, you don't have to see value in it like ever after I die, because it's so unfair that I don't know, to me it's so sad. Why? Ugh. Like, why didn't people see the value on those artists while they were around. It's very disturbing to me, that thought. Okay, so the flowers are a lot um, brighter, more saturated, maybe. Um, let's see. Oh, it's okay. Padre nuestro que estamos. Why are you praying? Why are you praying? Actually, I have. Sorry, I'm getting by this. Yes, I have. Um, I have like on my shop. You can find the commissions that are available. But you can also send me an email in case you want to, want more information or want something different. But I'm not always available, so that's that. Why not? Why not what? Why not pray? What's your favorite drawing? What do you mean? What is I mean, what is the drawing that I did that I like the most? Is that the question? I don't know if that is the question. Like, I like this one. I have a digital version of this illustration right here. I don't really have favorites, because I don't know, I keep changing and my favorites keep changing. So I never have like a favorite anything. It's like always like, oh, and at this moment I like this or that. But it's not like it's my favorite, like my forever favorite. I don't think. I don't have favorites. Maybe I have a favorite band, but it's not something that I I don't know. Sometimes people, talk about their favorite food, their favorite movies, and I can't do that. It's just, I don't know. It's just weird for me to pick one thing because it keeps changing. I just wanted to say I love your art. Thank you. And I hope you have a lovely holidays. Yay! You too. Or a nice little relaxing break if you don't celebrate. Well, yeah, I do celebrate, but this year, I don't know what is going to happen. But thank you, and yeah, I hope you have great and safe holidays as well. A little bit more there and there and there. So this to me is looking very strange, but I know it's gonna look better tomorrow because this is what happens. So I'm gonna do another wash here on her sweater. So what are your plans for after pandemic? Like I was saying, I am planning to go to Italy for a while. And probably not just Italy, but Italy is probably gonna be first. I'm gonna have to change my water because it just got completely black. Hold on, I'm just gonna get clear water. Also, I relate with not being able to pick favorites. I can never answer those questions either. Yeah, it's. I find it weird that people do have favorites because it's like, you know, how can you feel this way after singing something else or after a few years? It's weird to me. I can't really pick one anything. Um, so I'm doing a little bit of blue again. So here I have a little bit more paint. It's not very watery, just a little. Okay. Hi, how are you? From Dallas. Cool. Uh, I'm good. How Adding a little bit more blue there, so we have like a nice contrast of colors as well. Any more questions? I'd like to answer your questions. I'm gonna need to change the batteries of my camera. So let's just do this real quick. Okay. Okay. Let's see your questions. Outside running. Oh, okay. I think I missed a bunch of comments. Let me just go back a little. Do you speak Spanish and English? Where do you live? I speak English and Portuguese, and I live in Brazil. I speak a little bit of Spanish, but it's. I can't even say that I speak Spanish, it's just too basic. I should speak better Spanish. Okay. So therapeutic. Thank you. Yeah, I find it therapeutic too. But watching is definitely more. Why is it coming out pink? I need to fix this. Don't you think that flowers behind the girl should be bigger? They become smaller like immediately without perspective. Oh, they're out in the distance, it's fine. Amanhã eu vou comprar seu kit da menininha fofa. Eba! A menininha fofa das tirinhas. Watercolors has the most therapeutic process. I'm in love. Thank you. This is actually gouache, but it kind of works very similar, in a very similar way. Eu fiz aquarela em EVT e o professor chumbou-me. EVT, como assim? Desculpa, não sei o que. What was the inspiration behind this piece? Also, did you use reference? Yes, I did use reference. I use a lot of reference. Já troquei aqui. Now I'm gonna go to her skin. There's also something I was like procrastinating because I don't want to mess it up. So let's do this. I am mixing the colors like now. So this is the color I'm starting with for the skin, but I'm going to add a more like pink or red tone to it. Why don't you listen to music while painting? Because of I'm just picking the colors, sorry. Because of copyright. That's the only reason why I don't listen to music while I'm doing live streams, but I do listen or to podcasts or other stuff while I'm working. But I have had problem before with listening to music while doing live streams because like it kept going down. The live kept going down. And so I don't put any music anymore because of that. Hello, I am French. You're French? How are you? I'm fine. How are you? I was going to learn how to speak French. But kind of stopped, which sucks because I still want to learn and I also want to learn Italian. But I'm more interested in French, like I'm interested first in learning French than Italian, but maybe Italian is easier for me to learn because I think it's a little bit closer to Portuguese than French is, at least in the pronunciation of things. Right. So, but you said you're French, is that it? I understood that you are from France, like French from France. Did I get it right? Ooh, that is a lot of paint to start. So let's go with it. Like I said, I'm always kind of winging it, so let's do this. That's a lot of paint, but that's okay. I might need to go a little closer here. So if you see the top of my head, I hope it just don't get in the way, but it's just because I really need to get closer. There you go. That's fun. A lot of paint. Even though I started like with more washed colors, I like when I work with a lot of paints and I like being bold and just going for it. Even if I make a mistake, it just, I don't know, it's more fun. And I'm gonna paint the whole thing. Again, I started from the right. Okay, so this is so good. That's exciting. And oh God. I tend to do that a lot. My brush just flies out of my hand. Which is super weird. I don't know why I kind of forget that I have to have a grip. A little bit more water, just a little bit more water here. Okay, so this is, I don't know if you can see it through the camera. Oh, okay. But this is what I mean, like, when I said that, like, when you paint, it gets, like, stained, and it's not pretty. But, you know, the next day, it looks better. Because, you know, it's just so weird. It just looks, it looks stained. It looks like, I don't know. I can only think about the word stain. So I hope you can see it. It's like wet, and it kind of looks like you can see kind of the patches of paint. It doesn't look very pretty yet. Do you have any goals for your art career? Yes. I do have um, a lot of goals actually, but the first, well, I think the most important thing for me is to be able to sell my work. I sell prints, sell originals, and any products in it really that I create with my art, and just do that, be able to make a living just by selling the things that I already create. So that is like where I want to get, because I feel more free in my creativity when I can create whatever I feel like creating, whatever I'm called to create, and then, people pay for that afterwards. You know what I mean? So that's where I want to get to. But to get there, you have to, have fans and have a big audience that, cares about what you do and cares about your art and cares about what you are creating, and that is, genuinely interested in you. And also, like, I like to do a whole bunch of different things. So it would be nice to be able to create whatever I want to create, and still people be interested in that, because it's, still my creativity, but sometimes it's not a painting like this. Sometimes it's a comic, or I don't know, a song maybe. So yeah, the ideal scenario for me is that I can create what I'm called to create and have people buying it and interested in consuming my art, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I was able to express myself the way I wanted to. It will sell some, but the challenge is growing the audience. Yeah, and having people buy in again. Or like having it be something that is not just one time thing, but be it, I don't know, a stable thing. Stable, not staple. I think I mispronounced it. Can you draw my face? Well, I can. If you go to my Fantastic Friday posts, you can leave a comment there, and maybe you will be drawn by me. Maybe, well, at least you have a chance to be drawn by me. So, my fantastic drawing on my Instagram right here. Adoro seu estilo. Obrigada, Emerson. So pretty. Thank you. Need to. Okay, I have read that one. So if you guys have any questions, you can send to the little question box there, or just type it in the comments. So, okay, how long have I been painting here? Do you make thumbnails before working on your art? Sometimes I do, sometimes I do not. I'm always like that. Like sometimes I do things and sometimes I don't. So it's hard for me to answer anything. But yeah, sometimes I do thumbnails, and I do suggest you do it and create the habit of doing it, because it's really helpful afterwards. But I like to wing things. I don't always plan everything beforehand. But like I said, it really is helpful. Oops. So I actually want now more saturated, slightly darker tone, but I don't want it to be a lot of water because I don't want to activate the background layer. But I think I will end up activating it. So I want it to be darker there, like a shadow. So someone asked me about the music. Do you guys know if I can listen to music while live streaming? Because I have had problems before. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they changed anything. But as far as I know, I'm not allowed, you know, to put on any music that I want to hear. And well, maybe I could put my own music in the background. How do you choose your color palette? So I've been using kind of the same color palette as a kind of a branding thing, and it became kind of a theme to my art lately. But that doesn't mean it has to be that one forever, and it probably won't be. Oh, too much water. I just want to smooth it out a little bit. Yeah, for this one, I kind of just went with what I already had in terms of color palette. But it's always like what I'm feeling in the moment and what makes sense to, you know, what I'm doing. It's hard for me to explain things because I'm very intuitive. And it's not always like something I can explain, if you know what I mean. What's your favorite food? I was just saying that I don't have favorite things because it keeps changing for me. So I won't be able to answer to that question. I don't even know what my favorite right now is. Well, maybe hummus. I would say hummus now, but it can change. It's probably gonna change like tomorrow, and then the next day is gonna be something else. But hummus, I think it's something that I would eat every day. I never get tired of it, and yeah. So I'm using more paint now and less water. And it starts to get like a very nice it kind of mixes and the creamy thing I was talking about, so it starts to get creamy when it's not like with water but like mixing different colors and together, and they like, yeah, they get creamy. I don't know how. I can't explain. I don't have the words. It's just creamy. And it doesn't get creamy with water because it just, you know, stains the paper. That's what happens. But when you have more paint and less water, it gets creamy because you start like mixing things, and that is the fun part for me. I love how it looks. See, this to me is it's creamy. I like it. All right. Okay. Let's see. Questions. I have to go now, but I love your art. Thank you. Hope you have a nice day. Thank you so much for watching, for joining us. Oh, my card is full on the camera. I'm gonna have to switch to a new card. Hold on. I'm recording this painting process on my camera, and so I don't know if I like the end result. I might post it as an actual video on my YouTube channel. So okay, that's done. Let's see more questions that you have. Technically, it should be okay to listen to your music since you have a visual element. I'm totally in love. Thank you. So I just have to be in silence. It might raise an issue if the live is uploaded, but on a per live basis should be okay-ish. I had previous, I don't know if they still do that, but I had previous live streams that they keep, you know, how can I say it? They just kept putting it down. I don't know how to say it. I couldn't, you know, stay live because it was always being interrupted because of copyright, and that it was during the live stream. And so if I didn't like stop playing music, the live stream would end. So I think they gave me like 2 warnings or 1 warning. I think 1 warning. And then the live stream ended like in the middle of the thing. So I stopped listening to anything while doing live streams. But I do miss some background music. I like it. Hello. What's your day night? I don't know, just how are you? Oh, okay, my day or night. I think it's night now here. Yes, I have had a lot of water already, and now I'm having beer. I just ended my beer though. She could be lying down in a field of flowers, or they could be sailing by her against the light blue sky. She's laying down in a field of flower. You got that right. Hey guys, it's my birthday today. Happy birthday! Wow. Happy birthday. Okay, hold on. Question. Egwash, sing. Do you draw or paint landscapes? I'm gonna do the eye, and it's hard. Done. Okay, now this side. Oh boy. And kind of like the paper, it's kind of doing this. because I didn't tape to the side. And even if I did, I think I would still be doing this. So it's exactly where to get it right. I have to pay a lot of attention and be really careful. Okay, let's do this. I'm having like the same tension as when I am doing the eyeliner of my actual eye. It's like you can't even breathe or you're gonna mess it up. I think it's good enough. I don't want to keep doing this, but I do need more paint here. Yeah. What paint are you using? I am using gouache paint. Great job, thank you. Now I can breathe a little bit. And now the other eyebrow. I don't want the eyebrow to be completely black. Shit. Again. Water, water, water. Oh, where was it? There you go. Water, water, water. Damn it. So stupid. My brush keeps gonna have to add some water. No, some white. Some white later. But I don't know what happens. My brush keeps, I don't know, falling and flying. For some reason. Okay. I can see your reactions. Yeah, I think I saved it. It's fine. It keeps happening. And it's almost always when I have the black ink, like the black paint, and then it just flies from my hand. I don't know what happens. It's like a self-sabotage thing. I don't know. It keeps trying, probably my subconscious mind keeps trying to mess it up. I'm not gonna let it happen. Or maybe I will, but I hope I won't. And there's a little bit of, oops. The whole concept of line art is hard. Yes. I mess up my art with stupid mistakes all the time. Glad to know I'm not the only one. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what happens sometimes. Okay. But yeah, the line part is very hard. And I need to pay a lot of attention. Okay. Phew. Are you from Brazil? Yes, I am from Brazil. Some hair there, hair there. Okay. It got me really tense. The eyes. So, okay, I'm thinking. No. I think I'm gonna go with the blue first in her eye, and then the black inside. Okay, I'm trying to find my brushes. I want to use the same brush, so let's use the same one. But now the blue. I also need to pay attention here because I don't want to mess up the ball of her iris. Come on. Yay. She's looking a lot better than she was like a few minutes ago. That's awesome. Muito bem. I think that means very good. Yes. Muito bom. Very good. That is correct. Na hora da line eu nem respiro direito. Qualquer movimento é crucial. E sim, eu também não tava respirando. Mas é que nem quando eu tô fazendo delineador no meu olho. Também não dá pra respirar. I don't speak Portuguese, but I have some Brazilian friends. That's cool. Well, you know muito bem. That's muito bem. Muito bom, actually. It was muito bom. Okay. Now let's see another wash of blue here. Okay. I don't really like the flowers very much. I don't know what to do with them. So while these are getting dry, I will think about what I'm gonna do with the flowers. I want that creamy look, so I'm gonna need more paint. And I love your style, by the way. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's see. So if I want the creamier look, I need more paint, not more water. So I added more paint, and I'm gonna need something lighter a little bit. But instead of using white, I'm gonna try and use this in the mix, because white sometimes leave it everything kind of dull and kind of muted. I don't know. Let's see with this one. So I need more of the pink tone. Yeah, it's still muted and dull. It didn't help very much. That's okay. I'm constantly experimenting, as you can see. I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but then I just do it. Just because, you know, let's see. It may turn out very ugly. But it's nice to experiment, you know? Like, it's okay. The worst thing that could happen is this going to the trash. That's all. So, no fear. So I'm adding some white just because I do want this to be lighter. And I want to test it out a little. I don't love it. So let's go back to more of this. And now, because we have more paint. Yes. Creamy look. I don't hate it either. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. Maybe, I don't know. I think I'm gonna like stop the live stream because it's gonna go forever. This is not finished, and I've been live for, I don't know, like 2 hours, maybe. Tá travado. Faz o que? Faz 2 horas? Esqueci, né? Ele começou às 6h30. 2 horas e meia. 2.5 hours. So... qual material que você nunca usou gostaria de testar? Boa pergunta. Não é que eu nunca usei, eu já usei, mas eu gostaria de fazer mais, experimentar mais, que é pastel e carvão. Eu já testei, mas não muito. Mas como faz muita sujeira, eu acabo não usando, eu acabo sempre optando por algo um pouco mais simples. Mas eu gostaria, assim, de testar mais, experimentar mais. Okay. What is the couple? Hello from Japan. Hi, Japan. Wow. So far away. Yeah, I think I'm going to end this live stream because otherwise we're gonna be here forever. And that's not healthy. But anyway. Oh shit. I don't know if I will end this like ever, but this has been fun anyway. Thank you so much for asking your questions, because I like answering questions. It's fun. And yeah, for watching. And oh no. I've been live for 2.5 hours. That's too much. So I will, if I ever end this, I will post on my YouTube, the video I'm gonna post on my YouTube, and I'm gonna post the final artwork on my Instagram. So you guys get to see the final results if I ever finish this, because I don't know if I will. I'm not in love with it, so I may never finish it. And that's okay if I don't. But I don't know. If you guys want me to finish it, just, let me know. And I'll do my best. I can't stop painting, so the live stream never ends. Oh my god, just stop. Alright, I'm gonna stop right here. Well, thank you so much. Oh god. Qual é a sua banda favorita? When I'm about to leave, I get a question. So Sarah is asking, what is my favorite band? And I have just said that I don't have favorites, but maybe I do have. If I have any favorites, it's band. But also, it's so hard for me to pick favorites. Eu tava falando que é muito difícil pra mim escolher preferido de qualquer coisa. Mas, bom, na minha adolescência, a minha banda preferida era Nirvana. E eu acho que continua sendo. Mas eu gosto bastante de Pearl Jam também. E acho que são minhas duas bandas preferidas. Ou preferidas há mais tempo, talvez. Talvez preferidas há mais tempo, então acaba sendo as preferidas, mas não sei. Mas, vou responder Nirvana e Pearl Jam. Bem anos 90, né? So I said that my favorite bands growing up were Nirvana and Pearl Jam. So I think they're still my favorites. So okay, now I'm leaving. Get up. Now I'm leaving, and thank you so much for watching. Thanks for asking questions, and I don't know, this kind of sucks, so thank you for watching me do this. And I don't know, see you later, guys. I might do another live stream tomorrow. Probably not this, but probably something else. I don't know yet. But yeah, thank you so much, and have a good night or rest of your day. Bye-bye. So I'm gonna stop this live. I'm trying to find how I do it. How do I do it? I think it's there. So yeah, bye-bye, and thanks again. Good night.